Hi, you're watching the program video for the USAC Torino International Business, Art and Architecture, and Italian Studies program. We'll go over some quick things you need to know before applying to this program. Let's start with eligibility. To be eligible for nomination, students must have a minimum GPA of 2.5 and a minimum of 3/4 Italian language study, or its equivalent, prior to studying on this program. Students with major FOLA or DSP language exemptions can be waived from this requirement if they upload exemption proof to their application. Don't forget to check out the Essay Essentials in the DU Nomination Instructions section of the program brochure. There you'll find mandatory and recommended points to include in your essay in order to be eligible for nomination. Namely, students are required to mention watching this video and the mandatory 6-week Italian language class at the beginning of the program. Students take USAC classes with other US USAC students on site at the University of Torino School of Business Administration. The academic style is similar to the US, but because classes may be taught by Italian or European professors, there may be some influence from the European academic system as well, which can tend to be more lecture-based and more reliant on one final exam as the only grade of the term. All students are required to take an intensive Italian language class for the first 6 weeks on the program. This class is available at all language levels. FOLA language exemption and DSP substitution students concerned about this requirement should contact USAC and the OA advisor to discuss options. After the 6 weeks, students are encouraged to take a semester-long Italian language course alongside their other classes. There is a limited variety of classes taught in English, with most offerings related to business, political science, and Italian studies. Be mindful of course approval, since USAC offers some classes like architecture that don't have a corresponding department at DU. Also, be aware that some courses, especially food classes, have additional fees for materials that are the student's responsibility and are not covered by DU. Internships tied to your class may be available, and students with strong Italian language skills are likely to have more options. Note that there is a $200 registration fee that is refundable upon completion of the internship. This program's level of support is medium-high, and the structure is a program provider/study center. USAC is a program provider that provides on-site support throughout the academic term, including orientation, excursions, social and cultural activities, and housing. While support is absolutely available for any questions students may have, it is up to students to reach out with the questions and ask for further guidance. Staff will do their best to help within the confines of what's reasonable in the local culture and norms. In this program, USAC arranges housing for students, typically in semi-furnished and equipped apartments with 2 to 5 students sharing a unit and double occupancy bedrooms. Commute times vary, with some students walking to campus or using buses or the light rail. Students may request a homestay, but options are very limited and not guaranteed. Students are also responsible for paying USAC for housing, including a refundable housing deposit. After arrival, students will pay additional housing costs, including rent and utilities, directly to their landlord with USAC's guidance. Because of this, students are not charged DU housing, but are required to use USAC's housing options. Students are not charged meals through DU and are responsible for budgeting for their own meals. For example, students can go to the school cafe for inexpensive meals. Torino is the 4th largest city in Italy, with a population of around 900,000. That said, Torino is more similar in size to Denver than, say, Milan, so this is a good option for students interested in a less touristy big city experience. Located in northern Italy, Torino is also in a prime location for accessing the mountains in the north and the sea in the south. The city itself is very walkable and easy to navigate with a light rail track. In terms of student life, students are encouraged to get involved on campus, including doing clubs or participating in sports activities. Language exchanges are a good way to meet local students, as well as interacting with the tutors for the Italian language classes. USAC organizes social and cultural activities throughout the term, as well as weekend excursions, some at an additional cost. Students will also be required to apply for a student visa for Italy and are strongly encouraged to use USAC's visa service, in which students submit their paperwork to USAC, and a USAC representative appears on the student's behalf at the Italian consulate. Please note that the visa service fee is not covered by CGS. Otherwise, most consulates will require an in-person appearance at the consulate as part of that application, so students should be prepared for that travel and expense. Students should ensure their passport is valid now and for at least 6 months after the end of the program, and should not plan any national travel over the summer, as their passport will be at the consulate as part of their visa processing. Students can read more about the Italian visa process and the immigration instructions included as a resource at the end of the brochure. Now you have a better idea of what to expect on the USAC Torino program. Remember to mention this video in your essays for the program. Thanks for watching.